Okay, let's dive right in by defining the frog metaphor that anchors this entire philosophy. So, your frog is your biggest, most important task. It's the one you're most likely to procrastinate on if you don't intentionally do something about it. But crucially, it's also the one task that can have the absolute greatest positive impact on your life and your results at this exact moment. The golden rule here is pretty simple. If you have to eat a live frog, do it first thing in the morning. And hey, if you have two frogs, eat the ugliest one first. To pack all 21 chapters of this book effectively into this explainer, we're going to navigate through 5 logical phases: preparation, prioritization, overcoming constraints, focused action, and finally, fueling your inner drive. Let's kick things off with phase 1, the metaphor, and preparation. The absolute most important concept in personal productivity is clarity. Vagueness and fuzzy-mindedness are the primary culprits behind procrastination. You really have to know exactly what you want before you can aggressively pursue it. So to get that clarity, first, think on paper. Only about 3% of adults have clear, written goals, and they accomplish 5 to 10 times as much as their peers. It's wild. Second, plan every day in advance using the 10-90 rule. This means the first 10% of time you spend planning will literally save you 90% of the time in execution. And finally, prepare your workspace thoroughly. Clear your desk so you only have your one primary task sitting in front of you. When everything is laid out logically, it requires way less mental energy to just get started. Moving right along to phase 2, the art of prioritization. Here is the hard truth. There will never be enough time to do everything you have to do. The average person is working at 110 to 130% of their capacity. So you simply have to make choices. This is where the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, comes in. You need to strictly focus your energy on the vital few. 20% of your tasks will account for 80% of the value of what you do. The sad fact is that most people procrastinate on that top 20% and busy themselves with the trivial 80%. You've got to adamantly refuse to work on low-value tasks when your vital few are sitting there undone. The ABCDE method practically applies this concept of forced efficiency. You basically categorize your daily list by the potential consequences of each task. A tasks are your frogs. These have major consequences, and you absolutely must do them. B tasks are tadpoles with mild consequences. The rule is never do a B when an A is left undone. C tasks have 0 consequences, kind of like having coffee with a coworker. D tasks should be delegated, and E tasks should be entirely eliminated through creative procrastination. Getting comfortable with deliberately abandoning those E tasks, that is exactly how you take your life back. As we hit the midpoint of this explainer and shift from prioritizing to actively overcoming obstacles, I want to quickly remind you to like and subscribe to the 10-minute book summary Definite Books channel. Your support helps create more of these high-density visual explainers. All right, let's get back to tackling those frogs. Now we're at phase 3, overcoming your personal constraints. We all face bottlenecks that set the speed at which we achieve our goals. So, I want you to ask yourself right now, what is holding you back? What's the limiting factor determining how fast you get things done? Interestingly enough, that 80-20 rule applies here too. 80% of the constraints holding you back from your goals are completely internal. They are your own habits, skills, and disciplines. Only 20% are external factors. There are 2 really distinct ways to break through these internal choke points. First, do your homework by continually upgrading your skills. A single area where you feel weak is often enough to subconsciously cause procrastination. If you improve your core competencies, you naturally want to dive right in. Second, leverage your special talents. Focus heavily on what you uniquely do well. Look, you cannot do everything, but you can dedicate your absolute best energies to the few things where you naturally excel. Which brings us to phase 4, taking immediate, focused action. How do we actually sit down and tactically execute these massive, intimidating tasks without just getting totally paralyzed? Well, Brian Tracy outlines 2 brilliant methods. The salami slice method encourages you to just cut off one tiny, detailed slice of the job to complete right now. You don't eat a whole salami at once, right? You just eat a slice. The Swiss cheese method involves punching a hole in the task by committing to work on it for a strictly limited time. Think maybe just 5 to 10 minutes. Both of these methods trigger a subconscious compulsion to closure that pulls you forward into doing just a little bit more. So here is your definitive execution sequence. Step 1. Always start your day by doing the most difficult task first, no exceptions. Step 2. Take it one oil barrel at a time. There's this powerful anecdote about crossing the featureless Sahara Desert. Travelers survived simply by navigating from one black oil barrel to the exact next one visible 5 kilometers away. Just focus on the very next step. Step 3. Consolidate your schedule to create large, unbroken chunks of focus time. And step 4. Single-handle every task. Once you start, discipline yourself to work non-stop until the job is 100% complete. Starting and stopping can literally increase your task completion time by up to 500%. Insane, right? All of this tactical execution is beautifully summed up in this old saying: taking immediate, focused action in small, manageable steps is for sure the ultimate antidote to procrastination. And finally, we enter phase 5, fueling your inner drive. High performance isn't just about having a great strategy. It's heavily reliant on internal psychology and energy management. To sustain momentum, you have got to put the pressure on yourself. Don't wait for a manager or a deadline to force you into action. Only about 2% of people can work entirely without supervision, and you want to be one of them. You also need to maximize your personal powers by guarding your physical energy. Your sleep, rest, and diet directly impact your productivity. You must act as your own cheerleader, interpreting setbacks with fierce optimism. And lastly, develop a sense of urgency. By moving fast, you activate the momentum principle and can actually enter a state of flow where work feels effortless, accurate, and deeply satisfying. That wraps up our explainer of these incredible productivity principles. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this source material. Remember, this explainer was proudly created for the 10 Minutes Book Summary Definite Books channel. Please take a moment to like this explainer and subscribe to the channel for more powerful, time-saving summaries exactly like this one. I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to apply everything you've just learned. Take a look at your life and your work right now. What is your biggest, ugliest frog today, and are you going to step up and eat it? The choice is entirely yours. Now get out there and get to work.